I took too long to fix my shit.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. What's your shirt say?
This is a this is a Snoop Dogg fucking Christmas sweatshirt. Can you believe that? Fucking Snoop is
Wow.
hawking Christmas sweatshirts at fucking
What is it that
uh
guy's selling? He's doing Corona commercials.
yeah.
Like he makes a lot of money from just like doing 5 minute appearances on everything, right?
Yeah, he's got to get paid.
Smart
Um
business guy. All those
th-
rappers are like they make a lot of money.
he's selling Bic lighters with fucking Martha Stewart and
Oh yeah.
shitty
Hey,
fucking
they're
t-shirts.
both criminals, right? Did Snoop Dogg do any time at some point? Like I'm pretty sure early
I'm
on he
sure he
did jail time.
I'm sure he did, yeah, for sure.
Because wasn't that like he was part of Death Row, right? And like all those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Murder was the case. Remember that shit?
Yeah, and then when Tupac died, he is like or like who was that Shakir Knight or whatever that guy who like shook up
Suge Knight.
people.
Suge
Yeah,
Knight.
Suge Knight. Yeah, that guy was a thug, man. He just shook
Yeah,
people up.
for sure.
Fucking didn't
He's in
pay him.
jail, I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, unless I don't. He's been in and out. He's been in. I think he's still in jail. Yeah. So yeah, man. I don't know. We need to coordinate these better because we got to do this before games. Like the NFL is already the game's all halfway over already.
What game?
Um,
The Kansas
Chiefs and
game?
Steelers. Chiefs and Steelers are on now. I don't remember who's playing tonight.
I don't know if I even give a shit that much about that game, but
Texans and Ravens. Yeah, I mean, we got to have stuff to talk about, unless
I
you're
guess
bringing stuff to talk
everybody wants the Chiefs to lose, right?
about. Well, I mean, unless you're a Swiftie.
Well, I went to the Bills bar, when because the Bills and Kansas have been like rivals the last couple of years in what the
Mhm.
is that the AFC championship or whatever, and
Yeah,
everybody boos when they pan to Taylor Swift. It's kind of funny. Like everybody, as soon as they show her in the box, everybody's like boo boo at the Bills bar. It's awesome.
right. Yeah, I can understand people being sick of her for sure. I think she's attractive, but
I don't understand the draw of her music. Like it doesn't like offend me. Like I see it's catchy, but I don't see that it's doing anything all that like daring. Like to me, it just sounds like generic pop music. Like it doesn't sound like somebody did something different with music that was super original.
hmm
It sounds like every other like top 40 kind of thing. Like I don't hate it. I wouldn't like uh like put it on, but I mean not when anybody else is around, but
I mean, she's fucking good at what she does. I don't have any doubt about that. I think she's talented, super talented. But it's not even her. Like all the songs that she puts out, she has like fucking 10 people writing them. I mean, it's not like they're just her songs. She has like a whole army of professional songwriters that are writing these songs. So that's why they sound, very similar. Um, and they're, well produced. They're slick. But yeah, you know, I agree it's not the most original, but they have a formula. Pop music has a formula.
I've
That's
been
why I don't
watching
like
as bad as it is. I've been watching like this. Do you remember Ashley Simpson? And she got canceled on for the SNL fucking thing with the lip syncing.
it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's always in her sister's shadow because I feel like her sister has better sound people than that. They wouldn't they wouldn't play it. They wouldn't fuck it up when
It
she's
sounds
lip
like
syncing.
Taylor Swift has been lip syncing on her tour too.
I mean, it's hard to fucking move around and like they're like do acrobatic in these dance things. Like, how could you really be singing when you're like fucking busting ass and
I
moving
mean, is she
around?
doing crazy dance? I don't know if she is.
I don't know. I don't really know. But did you
Yeah, it's
see?
crazy.
But I think at any rate, Ashley Simpson is like 19, and she has all these guys that are like my age that are like 40 and writing music for her. And
hmm
I'm like, I don't know if these guys are just trying to sleep with her, or like if they actually like writing for her. She's like, I need to meet. I got this Geffen Records contract. Ha ha ha. And she runs off with these producers, and I
Right.
feel like probably the second that she disappears, they're like, this girl sucks, or
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to? Why can't we work with her sister or something like that? You know, like her more successful sister. Like, I just
Well,
wonder, would you think you'd hate that job? I mean, if you're getting paid well, would you keep? I feel like maybe they just don't care and they're just like, hey, I'm gonna get paid a lot. They're making me work with this girl, but uh, I'm gonna make money off of it. I wonder what those guys actually think, or if they're just like, fuck, I hate my life. I wish I was successful musically and I didn't have to work to help
right.
Ashley Simpson write a hit song. You know?
Well, that actually is successful musically. If you're writing songs for pop stars, that's pretty much the highest level of success you can get, short of being a performer. But that's even a smaller majority. Nobody wants to see a 45-year-old guy performer generally. I mean, it's not that's not when you break on the scene. You got to be
It's true.
young and attractive. That's the business.
Who was
Um,
the guy who just died? Chris Christopherson, right? He wrote a lot of songs for people like who just he just passed away.
he just died. I didn't know if he was a
Yeah,
songwriter for other people, really.
yeah. He wrote
Uh,
Frida. What's the Janis Joplin like? Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
mhm.
Me and my Bobby McGee. He wrote that song.
Got it. Okay, I know that's a long time ago, man. That's like
And then people told him when he
that,
wrote it, people told him to take freedom's just another word for nothing. There's nothing left to lose. People told him to take that line out of it, that it didn't match the rest of the song. And of course, now it's like the most
yeah,
anthemic.
it's the most iconic song
Yeah,
line
iconic,
of the
exactly.
song. What about how you feeling about this Bob Dylan biopic? Are you gonna see that?
Man, everybody shits on those biopics. I kind of wanted to see it because I'm a Bob Dylan fan.
I like him
Uh,
too.
Ed, Ed Norton's in it, and I like Ed Norton in a lot of shit too. Uh, you know, but the
Did you
review I
ever see the
read was
Queen one?
like, "What's that?"
Did you see the
No,
Queen biopic?
no.
I
I
didn't
read.
either.
Do you know Pitchfork? They're like Condé Nast. They're like this music magazine, kind of like what Rolling Stone was. Like they rank albums out of 10, and they do a lot of music articles. Pitchfork Media, and they
Yeah,
always review those biopics. And they were like, they kind of shat on the Queen one because they're like, oh, it didn't show that the fact that he was like bisexual. It didn't show his sexuality enough. Kind of like a woke critique of the.
I thought that's what it was all about. I haven't seen the movie, but I figured that would be prominently. I mean, was he He was gay, wasn't he? I don't think he was
I think he like
bisexual.
lived. I think he lived with a woman who was kind of his. I don't know exactly, but the it was kind of like a review that they didn't make him weird enough in the movie or something like that. You know, like
He was pretty
they didn't.
weird. Yeah,
But and then they kind of shat on Timothy Chalamet. Like I read, they did a review for
the new
uh,
Dylan.
yeah, what is it called? From his lyric,
Oh fuck! I just saw this last night. Um, No
um,
Direction Home, or no, that was
yeah,
the
No
old one.
Direction Home, which is from like a Rolling Stone, you know, like a Rolling Stone. Um, No Direction Home. But
No, it's a complete unknown.
complete
No
unknown.
Direction Home was an older movie, I think,
Oh
because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's been three fucking Dylan biopics in like the last 20 years.
yeah.
I haven't seen any of them.
I saw him. My
There's
dad took me to see him when I was like 10, and my dad's like, "You smell that? That's jazz cigarettes, or that's Mary Jane, or something like that." Because there were totally a bunch of hippies in front of me, like smoking weed while they saw him. But he can't. Like I've seen him like two or three times, and he can't play his songs. Like it's kind of stupid to go see somebody like that because he'll like change his songs so that he can sing them differently. Like uh, because he can't do it anymore, you know? And like he doesn't even play guitar, he plays piano at his concerts. So it's like if you go to see Dylan and he doesn't play guitar, it's like what are you really getting, you know? Some of these guys get older and there's really no
I don't know
point
if he ever really
in
played
seeing
guitar to
them.
begin with, man. I mean,
We did
he's not
simple
much.
stuff.
What, he plays a string? He hits a string once. I mean, I've seen him in concert too. Yeah, it's not what I'm going to see, but yeah, it's you're not expecting much.
There's
And he sounds like shit too, singing, but it's
yeah.
part of his charm.
I thought I honestly people shit on his voice, but I thought in the 60s like it sounds good, you know? Him acoustic and him singing. mean, I just think he
Well,
got
it's
older.
iconic. His voice is so iconic. You kind of, you know, you accept that he's not a good singer. I mean, that's but it's yeah, it's got character for sure.
I guess those
Um,
singers don't irritate me because I'm a big Neil Young fan too, and people are like, "Oh man, Neil Young has a bad, terrible voice," and I'm like, "I think he's good." You know, I mean, it's I guess it's a style choice maybe, but I'm like, Neil Young could sing. You know, I don't know.
so what do you got? What are you looking at
It's,
stocks for the rest of the year? Have
by
you
the way, it's not like Billy Corgan who sometimes Billy Corgan out of any like rock singer, it's sometimes hard to get his voice out of anybody. You know.
Yeah, he's got a strange voice too, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. So what are you thinking about
sucks.
for Stonks the rest of the year? Are you
I don't know what's gonna go up. How is crypto doing? Is it open on Christmas? Let's look up Bitcoin.
I mean, it dumped like last week, but it's coming back.
Oh yeah, it's almost at 100,000 again. Got
I
it.
was
This
regretting
shit
not
moves. This shit moves so quickly. It's
for sure,
kind of
for sure. Yeah,
kind of
that's why
crazy.
I was regretting not taking some profit before it dumped hard. But then I've been reluctant to take profit because I feel like there's still more upside. So I don't know. Maybe I'll
It's
end
just
up
hard to
okay.
know like that crypto stuff. I guess Vanguard won't even sell crypto yet. Maybe they will.
That's just a matter of time. It's coming, man.
Like I think Fidelity has like a crypto ETF. Maybe that's worth buying because I don't want to go into some. Have you heard of people getting what is it, pig skinned or what do they call that? Uh, it's like people go online and they try to get and they make friends with you, and that like lonely people get duped and they'll talk to you for weeks on end. Some girl off a Hinge or somebody from Hinge tried to do this to me. Like was obviously like a somebody was trying to like rip me off. What do they call it? Like pig skinning or like so they'll literally talk to you for months and then they're like um, uh, pig butchering scam. And so they'll be like, oh, invest 1,000 into crypto, and you'll send $1,000 to them, and then uh, they'll show you if like you'll put it into this platform that's like not real. It's like a fake crypto platform,
Mhm.
and then they'll show you that you've made like 2,500. They won't give you or maybe they'll even send you the money back. I don't think they would, but they'll show you like on paper that you've made all this money, and they're like, "Well, there's this opportunity. If you put 50,000 in, I can get you into like the special crypto coin, And then you send them 50,000, and then they keep showing you going up, and then when you ask for your money, they're like, "Oh, it's locked. You have to put another 30,000 in, and then you'll get your money out."
People are so stupid, man. I just fucking.
And
I guess that's one of the upsides of never trusting anyone.
some people
Never.
like this one retiree guy like lost like 300 or 400,000 doing this, and then his family, his kids were like, "It's not your fault. Like, just calm down." And the guy ended up committing suicide. It was like this article in the New York Times, like the guy who got ripped off. But apparently, these people are in, I don't know, it's like Malaysia. It's probably not Malaysia. It's one of those Southeast countries that they're in, like Thailand. And there's these people that are literally like held like as human prisoners that people make them go on computers
Right.
and like do this shit and try to scam people. And they're like
Yeah,
they're like physic
they have
they're
whole
like human
sweatshops.
slaves.
There's
Yeah, exactly.
whole industries of people doing this. Um, in India
It's
too,
kind of cool.
probably. Yeah, Asia. Which I guess technically India is Asia. I still now I didn't know. I only learned that recently that India is Asia. I never think of it as Asia.
It's a subcontinent.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man, you should have been. I told you. I told you months ago to invest in Palantir. It's up again, dude. You're
I mean, look,
dropping the ball there.
I know. Well, maybe when I have more steady work, I can that corporate dental place wanted me to work in January, like all throughout January. I won't name the company on here, but I went and worked there yesterday, and it's just like they'll pay me a lot of money to work there, but I'm like, is it worth it? Like because it's so disorganized, and the people that work there are like on their phone, like their phones are going off, like it's completely unprofessional, like the
Yeah.
environment, and nobody is there to be like, hey, fucking do your job, you know? And I'm a temp worker there. So I'm like, do I really want to work there for an entire month? Like they have an oral surgeon that goes to the place. You know, some oral surgeons will travel around and they're like, I'll work at this office once a month, or I'll work at this office once a month. And the oral surgeon that works for this company, or he won't go to the office that's trying to get me to temp because he says he put them on probation and then he's like, I'm not going back. You guys are too disorganized. But yeah, looks like Palantir. I'm looking at it. What is Palantir?
Data analytics, AI.
Damn, 235%. How
In
did
the
you even
last
hear
six
about this
months.
company?
I heard about it years ago, man. I've been on it way early. I mean, not as early as I wish, but pretty early.
Let's see, Mara. Have you heard of Mara? I think it's
Yep.
tied to what? How does it? Is it tied to Bitcoin?
It's a Bitcoin miner.
I had a friend who had some of this shit in their like 401k, and I told them we both know this person, but I told them their dad was doing it for them, and I told them get out of Mara. Maybe it was bad advice, but I'm like, it's if you're gonna have like a 401k, you should probably have something less volatile.
I wish I wasn't paying attention to this fucking company Soundhound AI. It's
Sound.
just been, it just exploded the last month or so, especially.
So, like, how? Why are these companies going up? Like, people just think that it's so speculative. You know, I honestly think we're in a big bubble. Like, I don't think the U.S. like the S&P went up like 30% this year. Do you think it's going to continue to go up next year? Like just the overall U.S. market, it's pretty. If you look at historically, it's like way overvalued.
Yeah, but it's been overvalued for a long time. I mean, things can stay overvalued longer than you can, bet against it. So I mean, I think we're definitely gonna I think we're going higher the next couple of months. I wouldn't probably bet longer than that because like we've got all the Trump bump positivity. So I would say that that's going to last at least the next month or two, maybe the spring. But yeah, most people think that we're due for a pullback at some point, but there's no idea when that's going to be. Is it this year? Is it next year?
Well, I
You
wonder.
know?
People are always like, well, the S&P returns on average like 10 or 12%, and so there's a return to mean. So if it's been going up 30% for like 5 years straight, that you won't get those returns going forward. But then I'm like, then another part of me is maybe we're in a whole new era because AI can really like is almost a worker, is almost like a human worker. So maybe companies can up their
It's not like
profitability.
it's
Like,
not like one worker. It's like exponential. It's like logarithmic. It's
yeah, I know. So
like
maybe
this.
maybe it's changing now. I wonder what'll happen with Tesla, the EV stuff. I don't know if that'll.
Yeah, I'm long Tesla too. Wish I had more. It's
Well, especially
funny,
now
like
that he helped Trump. Trump's gonna put tariffs on like anything that's gonna compete with Tesla.
did you see that
You
Nissan
know.
and Honda are merging?
Yeah, Nissan and who are merging?
Honda,
What's
Honda,
the other company?
Nissan, Honda,
Honda.
and Mitsubishi.
I forgot it was Honda. Wow. Yeah, I think I
Kind of
read
wondering.
something, and I think yeah, the three
So
Japanese car companies.
you're kind of wondering what's Honda getting out of it. I can see why Nissan would want to because they
I
reputation
thought
is so
Honda was
terrible.
doing well. Like Honda has like the my friend's wife has like the CRV hybrid
Yeah,
and loves that. It's like Hondas. I thought Hondas were like really reliable and supposed to be really good.
yeah,
Maybe
that's what
even
I'm
more than
saying. What is Honda getting out of it? Honda has a good reputation. Nissan's is garbage.
yeah,
Um, I
yeah. I
think
would wonder that too.
they're just seeing like how centralized the auto industry is getting probably because Tesla is like fucking 10 times the size of every other company.
Well, I
Um,
think it used to be too. Like I think cars just in general are made better. Like even like a Hyundai is like a is still like decently reliable. Like because it used to be in like the '90s or when I was growing up, that like Honda and Toyota, like the foreign made cars were just like made so much better than Ford. Like the American car companies kind of fucked up and didn't keep up, for a while. Like a Ford or like any American cars weren't gonna, or Chevy like wasn't gonna cut it. But now I think the way that they make the cars, they're just so reliable that cars don't have as many problems as they used to.
I guess it's not official. I thought it was official. I guess they're just exploring it.
Well,
My parents just bought a Hyundai. And they like it. They were looking at a Toyota, but Toyota was a lot more expensive though too. So they thought,
oh
well,
really?
and Hyundai's reputation has been getting a lot better in the last several
Yeah,
years.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like even it almost doesn't matter what brand you buy anymore because they're all made pretty decent. Hold on, give me 1 second, okay?
I would still never buy a Nissan.
Yeah. Yeah, don't ever buy a Samsung appliance. You know.
What was
Speaking
that?
of what?
Do you have somebody over?
No, 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 no. I'm just doing laundry, but I fixed my washing machine. And I've had like three problems with my Samsung washer dryer. Like, and two of them happened when I was under a home warranty that the previous owner of my condo, like, uh, what do you call that? Get bestowed onto me, gave to me. But like, I have these old appliances in my kitchen that are from like the 1970s, like Kenmore, like Sears stuff, and they never break. And all this new shit breaks like all the time. Like my washer dryer,
Oh
that's a
man,
Samsung. What's that?
I said I know they're terrible.
Why? Because you got new ones in your place, or no?
Yeah, I had to replace my refrigerator earlier this year, and I did a bunch of research on them, and they're all terrible.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
made now is garbage,
yeah.
pure
It's all
garbage.
plastic. Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is it's energy efficient. So a fridge that's like 20 years old, I guess, is going to cost you more for the power bill, but who gives a shit?
Well, the other thing was, you're buying at retail, you're way overpaying for it. So I went to like this discount appliance place when you can get like scratch and dent stuff. and you can get it for like 60% of what you would pay at like Best Buy or
Really?
Home Depot or whatever. So that's
What
what
is
I
that
did.
place called? Is there a name?
American Freight.
American Freight. Is it
Yeah,
like a location or is it like a website?
both. They have a website and they do have locations around. But yeah, I got a pretty nice unit. I can't remember what brand it is anymore, but
For a
yeah, and
fridge.
it had like pretty minor cosmetic stuff on it, like scrapes on it that you can't even tell or see.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was a really good price. So that's what I would do if I were you. And it's still new. It's still new, so you get like all the warranty and shit. So um, whatever that's worth, probably not much, but it's better than buying straight secondhand, like from a repair shop where you get no warranty at all. So
I just wonder if it's planned obsolescence. Like, for instance, my Samsung had this thing where and luckily it was under, I had this home warranty thing, but both my Samsung, the dryer, the CPU fried so that it would spin when the dryer was off. And I tried to disconnect the CPU and hook it back up. And I had to buy a whole new, or the guy who repaired it, I didn't have to pay much because I had the home warranty, but it's like a $300 part. Like the computer part of the dryer needed to be fixed. And then the washer, the hose on the bottom, uh, like started leaking water, and a guy fixed that under warranty. But then that's like a known problem. Like apparently that hose every few years it rubs the other hose next to it, and then it
yeah,
creates a water leak. And I'm like, fuck, this thing's only four. This thing's 5 years old because I bought the condo in 2020, and the owner was like, I just bought this washer dryer unit. I may want to take it with me. Like he had no reason to lie to me. It's a newer unit, and I've had all these fucking problems with it. It's like, what the fuck?
yeah.
But
You really got to do your research beforehand. Like look at Consumer Reports. My mom bought me a Consumer Reports subscription beforehand, so that's what I was doing for my refrigerator. I was
yeah,
researching all the units, the brands and the units. If they have common problems, they're going to come up in that, or they're going to
yeah,
show about
yeah.
it.
I have Consumer Reports because my parents and my mom and dad have like a library card, and I can log in with their library card to get into Consumer Reports and check shit. So
You can log into
sometimes,
the website,
yeah,
Consumer Reports website.
yeah,
You get that with a library card.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay, all right.
you need to go to the library, man.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense to me because a library is a public institution and Consumer Reports is a for-profit entity. So something's not adding up there, buddy.
I don't know
But
why. I think some public, maybe the library pays Consumer Reports or something.
all right,
I'm not sure.
fair enough.
I'm not
First time
sure.
ever in history I've ever heard of that, but I could you could be onto something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking about selling some of this, doing some like tax loss harvesting on my some of my stock that I'm down on.
See, how does that
But
even work? Like, you can only write off 5,000 a year or something, right? You can only use it as. Can't you only claim a certain loss? Like, if you had $100,000 loss, then you have to take years to write it off, right? Because I think you're only allowed to write off a certain amount of stock loss a
you can have
year.
3,000 net losses and capital losses, but you can have as many. You can have as many gain. You can offset in all of your gains or as many gains as you want. You can't just have more than 3,000 net after that. So if you have $50,000 in capital gains, I can have $50,000 in loss, 53 actually, that
Okay.
I could use. But I've got plenty of losses. I'm already carrying over from prior year, but I feel like I should just. I mean, if I have losses, extra losses I can take, why not take them? The problem is I don't want to risk like stocks that I'm down on and I think could pop in the future. I don't want to sell out of that and then have to buy back in later at a higher cost. Like for instance, GameStop, I'm still holding some of that shit, and I would like to get out of it, but I could pop at any time. Like GameStop has been on a rise again, a slow rise, but it could pop at any time. So it's like I don't want to sell out of that, and then it could pop while I'm not
Is
holding it.
GameStop a company that people are actually doing well by any?
No, no, it's purely a meme play.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly, but still, yeah, it's stupid. I wish I didn't have it, but I'm holding it, and I think it could definitely pop. It already has been. It has a couple times, and I've missed it. Like here, it went all the way up to 46. back in the summer, twice.
Was the ticker? GME
I
or
you
GM?
can't see my screen.
Oh, let me look. I wasn't looking. Hmm. Yeah, it's so weird that the yeah. I guess it's been going up. Maybe they're an okay company. Maybe they're. I mean, aren't people going to buy game stuff? Like, don't people buy video game consoles anymore? Or I guess you can get them anywhere.
It's all in the cloud now, man. It's not. You don't have to go anywhere to buy fucking. Like, look at their revenue. It's trash. Their net income is up. I don't know why that's up. Is that because they've been selling all a bunch of stock and shit? That wouldn't make sense for income. I don't know. People aren't buying it because of their operations. They're buying it because it's media.
Like I think of GameStop like Media Play. Remember like Media Play? Like, or did you had I had that in my part of the country, or like Tower Records, or like
Yeah.
like a record store. It's like it's kind of like an obsolete thing. Who would have thought those stores were so big? Like the CD stores and the bookstores, like all the stuff with the different media. Who would have thought those would go like belly up? You know.
I mean, I'm sure it would have been obvious if you were paying attention. That's what I was telling you before, man. If I had just been paying attention, you know.
Well, back then Amazon only sold books. I remember when I was at college, I got textbooks like, and I think I sold some textbooks on Amazon. Like Amazon was only in books, and now you can fucking get, you know what I mean? You can get any fucking thing from Amazon. It's kind of crazy.
I've been bag holding on Neo for fucking years, and that's one I'm way down on. That's probably the biggest stock I'm down on still. And
What is it? What is Neo?
the electric vehicles in China, China, China.
Aren't they doing well? Like I thought China was trying to undercut everybody, right? Like they were
You see that?
subsidizing them.
You see my screen?
Let me pull it up. I can't see it right now. Dude, I want an EV or a hybrid for my next car, you know? But what I don't understand is why are cars, I think my friend Joe was telling me this, like they sell the same amount like of trucks that they did like in the 70s or something, like Chevy does or Ford does, and then they just the price of the trucks keeps going up. I'm like, why is if they've been making vehicles in these places for so long, like why isn't the price of a car going down? You know, if they have robotics and things to make them, why is it still, you know, cars are like one of the things that stupid people get into debt over if they buy one every couple of years. But why are cars still such a, I just thought that they would come down. Like everybody needs one and they can mass manufacture them. I thought that they wouldn't be like still 40 or 50,000. I mean, that's so much money.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know why the prices keep going up. Well, they're getting so technologically advanced though too. That's part of
Yeah,
it.
and then you can't fix them if they break. Like, and apparently, if you get like a minor fender bender, because everything's a panel, everything's a computer, they end up having to total your car. That's what my
Yeah, I
dad
know.
said that.
I just got totaled. The car that I got in an accident in Thanksgiving.
But
I
these
got
cars get totaled for like minor damage because the cost of fixing, you know, that windshield on the Tesla or a heads up display on the windshield. If your windshield breaks, you total the car because the
right.
windshield's like fucking $5,000 because it's like a smart windshield or some shit.
Mhm.
But do you really need that? You know,
Probably not, but that's the word. That's the world we live in. We're not going back.
I mean,
I'm
some
actually, I'm pretty terrified of this AI stuff and how it's just going to decimate jobs for people in 10 years. Who's going to have a job for anything?
yeah,
I
but they say
mean,
that about everything. I think like the jobs evolve. Like maybe you know you might have to smarten up. You might not be able to be like a blue collar guy like you know, those blue collar jobs have been going away for a while, like due to, and that's due to globalization. But like, you know, if you can get the labor somewhere else for cheaper, but you know, Like you're not going to be able to work at McDonald's and just sit there and not think. You know, you're going to have to work a job where your more critical thinking
The
skills are
McDonald's
required.
workers should learn to code. Isn't that what fucking AOC and people say?
Hey,
Just
if
learn
Trump
to
can work
code.
at McDonald's, if Trump can work on the fryolator.
You really think people are going to learn like super technical stuff, learn to code? It's not going to happen, man. We're going to go. I'm certain we're going to have to go to a universal basic income at some point. You know, it might not be for quite a while, but I think it's going to happen. Yeah, that's what Elon's been saying. I agree with him.
I wonder what'll happen when he's running everything for the government. You think he'll do a good job?
I don't know, man. It seems like it's a political thing. Um,
Did you see somebody who's like, Elon's not president? Did you see that Trump thing where he's like, people were saying that just like Elon's going to be the guy behind like the, what do you call it? Like from Wizard of Oz, like the uh, puppeteer or whatever behind the scenes kind of guy.
yeah.
And Trump didn't like that. Trump was like, he's not president, you know?
Hey,
I'm like,
I think my
but
computer's
go ahead.
about dying. Did you have any other point you wanted to make? We're
No.
gonna have to call a meeting here shortly.
Okay.
We can
Cool.
hop off here, and we can to be continued. Thanks for giving getting on. Yeah, you can stay on for a minute after I end this here.